Okay. Okay, and we share that link.
That's right.
How do I do this?
Hey, guys, if you're watching, welcome.
Hey, everybody.
We're just getting started. You know how it is. We're going to be on in exactly 2 minutes. So, if you guys are interested in talking to us about coronavirus, Super Tuesday, what else? Homelessness. Homelessness has been a, should I say, revolving topic that we've been talking about the last few weeks. And it all has to do with us talking and interviewing, what's her name from Take Back Austin? I'm sorry if I don't remember her name right off the bat.
I don't remember her name.
Mackenzie, that's right. Sorry, Mackenzie, if you're watching. I mean no disrespect. But we're talking to her next week in this studio. We were going to be in Studio 3, but we are here in Studio 2 again. Our favorite studio. And, of course, Jimmy caught the coronavirus, so I'm wearing my mask again.
Well, see, that's the thing. You don't even realize that people that have coronavirus are supposed to wear it.
Are the ones that should be wearing it.
They should be wearing it because they're coughing. I was
Sorry.
I was
Maybe you're right.
I was reading through one of the Reddit posts where they had a whole bunch of specialists that were talking about it, doing their thing. Let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to. How do I share?
We're on in 30 seconds here.
Copy link.
Get ready to get
That's what I want. I want to copy the link, right?
All right, you guys are ready for this? We're on in 20 seconds here.
Paste.
5.
Did you read that article from
3,
Finland?
2, 1. We're live. Is that loud enough?
You are now listening to.
Oh, they're coming to rob.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet on the
us and
stream.
rape us. And
That isn't. See,
All I
I
can
don't know
hear
where
is
you're
your
hearing that, but
stupid
literally nobody's saying that.
I know English people that aren't supposed to be here, but I don't complain about them.
I'm not trying to out you, but I
get
want-
me in a gotcha moment.
No gotchas, because I do gotchas, but it's not a gotcha, okay?
They all know you as like a Alex Jones apologist.
Yeah, pretty much. Alt-right adjacent, I think.
Alt-right adjacent.
Liar, a racist, a lunatic,
An N-word hater.
No.
But in the event of an emergency, your regular exit might not be the quickest or safest way out.
This emergency exit is painted on!
There's no way out! There's no way out!
Oh, that's right. This is what it sounds like when worlds collide, finding common ground and breaking the divide. This is Emergency Exit.
What day is it?
This is episode 145. Today is Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. It is again 10 and 10 in our floating tin can.
Far above the world.
Woo! I'm Los. You can follow me on Twitter at That's Right Los. Joining me as always is Jimmy, Orange Man Bad Preston. You can follow him on Twitter at Jimmy Preston. Streaming this live to the world, and he's got a friend in there. It is Brandon, the Hard Hat Mitchell. That's right.
Whoa, wrong camera. Wrong camera. You're on 3.
There they are. Listen, guys, if you're out there and you want to join us and just hang out with us, you got a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Come on down Wednesday or hit us up on our email, emergencyexitpodcast@gmail.com.
Whatever. Yeah.
And
we made a new
hook you
friend out in the hallway right before we came on. It's the worst. I'd rather die from from the
I'd
thing
rather
than wear.
die than wear this fucking
Oh,
thing.
those masks. If I get it, I'm just gonna be stuck at home.
We
Look,
met a guy outside. Just for like 20
yeah.
minutes before the show started.
What was his name?
Sterling.
Sterling.
Great name, by the way.
Great name. Dropping off his first show. He's got a new show. Keep Austin Film Alive.
That's right.
So that'll be.
Keep Austin Film great again.
I think that's.
Make Austin Film great again.
So he's got a new show that's coming here to Channel Austin. We just met him. He's a new producer, and so it's cool to meet some new producers. And then, of course, we engaged in some conversation, talked a little bit about Super Tuesday yesterday, and how did you think that was going to go?
Super Tuesday?
No, the interaction with Sterling.
So first, okay, this guy goes out and he's all like, "How'd you feel about Bernie and Biden and blah blah blah?" And he's like, "Well, actually, well, yeah, you know, I'm a Rush listener." And
I was like, "Oh."
This guy's like, "Oh my!" I can see it in his face. He's like,
and
"Okay, here we go." And he starts going off on. He's like, "What do you guys think about political conspiracy? You guys say you talk about politics."
Oh
So
yeah,
what
he
about,
went right into the
conspiracy?"
dossier. we
so
we went several layers deep, but and it all started with, isn't that kind of crazy that Klobuchar and I think it was like Klobuchar and Buttigieg dropped out of the
that's his
race
first
this
thing.
week.
He's like, "Don't you think it's
And-
weird
and-
that this and that happened?"
And they dropped out, and they did it right before Super Tuesday, and then endorsed Biden. So we got a huge push for Biden. He's arisen from the dead. We've got a video to congratulate him that's coming later, right?
Oh, should we play it now?
Let's-
We've got Brew World first.
Okay, all right. Let's do some of the
We're
business.
5 minutes in. We
So,
haven't even gotten into the good
Listen,
stuff.
if
yet.
you're
We gotta
if
get
you're
to
watching us, you're watching us on Facebook, you're watching us on YouTube, you're watching us on Channel 10 here in Austin, live at 10, and we appreciate you. Do know that the link
What's
that
up with
we've
Brandon.
is that the right date?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
look at the extra dot.
The 2 dots. You're slipping, bro.
Anyways,
So look, interact with us on the chat on the Emergency Exit podcast page on Facebook. There is the live chat, or if you go to YouTube or Podbeam, is that right? Or
Podbeam is where we host the podcast.
the
and
audio
it goes live
okay.
there as well.
So anyway, just interact with us on the chat. We will get to it. We've also got it looks like we got a phone call.
Well, hold up.
Oh, he's screening him right now.
Oh,
so,
thank you. We're going to go through the Brew World order. So today on the show, we're going to talk about some weird comments from people. We're going to talk about Finland's homelessness. We're going to talk about 40 Days of Tacos. But first, let's do a Brew World order.
It's the Brew World Order.
That was a sweet one right there. Oh, press play.
That's right. Another Brew World Order coming at you. This week we've got Pabst
Sweet effects,
Blue Ribbon Hard Coffee.
Hard coffee.
Oh my God.
I don't know if there is a description. It says this is the original
Pabst
Blue Ribbon hard food coffee
Hard iced coffee
with stash of milk
with a dash of milk.
and jaw brew balance and creamy blend with a whipped vanilla flavor.
Sounds like a frappuccino, so let's do it.
Okay, let's get to it.
There's nothing to it but to do it. It's 5% alcohol.
I hope you like it. It's so good. It's like you jugged it. It's so good, isn't it?
So good.
It's like a mudslide.
This is not. It's not. This is supposed to be this easy
It's
to drink.
4.5 alcohol.
5%. It said.
And you can drink like they come in
I
4
hope you
packs.
brought more of those,
They-
Jimmy.
They come in
I'm
4
gonna
packs.
give this a whopping 5
5.
out of 5. That's right. It's
It is so
empty
good.
can club.
Toss the can so you can grab that camera so Brando can try this.
Well, you gotta- what's yours?
That's 5.
That's
it's
another
so
5.
good.
Oh my
It's
God.
so good.
What do you think, Brandon?
Oh man, that gives me hope, but so
It's an elaborate prank on Brandon the whole
yeah,
time.
it is right. They're just fucking with me.
It looks like daylight.
Nope. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh,
Oh man, that is not pleasant. No,
What
no,
were you
you guys
expecting?
lied,
Are you
assholes.
expecting-
I'll drink it if you don't
Yeah,
want
yeah, you can join that empty can club, but I mean, I got to give that a 1.
one.
1. I'd rather that than milk stout though.
This is
So,
so good.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
This would be good with some ice, maybe some ice cream. Add a little bit of throw some cookies in there, some Girl Scout cookies.
This is
Mix it, blend it
delicious.
up.
I reckon.
All right, so it's so good. You gave it 5. I gave it 5. That's right. Drink this. Well, no call to action. Whatever.
It's delicious.
It's good.
And that's this week's
Brew or
That's right. Well, after drinking my full one and going down on, it's still on the floor. Look down. Look at that.
There it is.
I drank it, and then Brandon hated it. Gave it a 1, and then I said I'll drink it because it was so delicious the first time. And as I drank this, it sucks. It's got a weird sweetness to it that's not. I didn't feel like it was there when I passed it around. I go, taste this, Jimmy.
So you, just for the
tastes
record,
weird.
you make decisions without thinking them through.
Well, you know, sometimes
Sometimes.
we're forced to do that with the Brew World Order. We don't have time to think about it. But after a couple more sips of this,
So what are you giving it?
This is getting a sour 2. That's right, revised. This is the first ever. It was the first ever. Finish the whole can, and then a revisit, and that's the Brew World Order.
That's the brew.
World
Order. Pretty lackluster camera work there by me. All right, so you
I
know
was just saying-
you're entitled to change your mind. You gave it a 5. We both gave it a 5.
Yeah.
I haven't changed. I drank a couple of them on Friday. I went to my buddy Wild Bill. I'm one of his patrons. He's got a Patreon thing. I'm supporting him. He's writing a Easter play. I was in his Christmas play. Wild Bill Ogden. Go to Bill Ogden on Facebook if you want to see what that's about. Anyway, I drank a couple of those in public, and I enjoyed them. So, but we got a caller on the line. Let's get to Rob.
Hey, Rob, you're on the air.
What's up there, my bro?
Hey, well, sorry about last week. I got pretty fired up. I was getting pretty tired of getting accused of being not a moral person for believing in a certain thing. So I apologize if I got a little heated, and I'm sure this guy apologizes for getting a lot of heated last night.
I kind of.
You guys always apologize, but it's just, you know, it's human emotion, man. It's just something y'all are very emotional about. I'm very emotional about it. But like I told you, man, it's Biden. Biden's gonna.
Hey, you know what, dude?
The official death of Donald Trump's presidency. He will not be elected.
Dude, yeah, I was super surprised that Biden did so well. We thought he was done.
Yeah, rose from the dead.
I kept telling you guys every damn week I called you, man.
When you're right, Rob. When you're right. Which leads me up to a new video I'd like to play.
Oh, you're gonna love this, Rob.
You're gonna love this video. It's a dedication.
Wait. When you were in the shower with me when I was taking a shower.
I've got a beautiful video of for you. It's for everyone that loves Biden. This one goes out to Biden. Do you have that ready, Brandon? Let's.
Oh my God. And I know it's gonna be insulting.
You're gonna
you're gonna love
love it. Here we go.
Wait, you're getting nervous,
Can you hear it?
man.
Can you hear it?
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
I'm not sedentary. I get up and let him go. Let him go. Look, the reason I'm running is because I've been around a long time and I know more than most people know. And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups.
Let's do some push-ups.
Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Let's take the 19 steps.
You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced phony soldier. They said you were. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. And so he's up on the board. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board. I'll come up and drag you off. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
No, a dude.
All men and women created by
Esther.
go. You know the thing. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white
We
kids.
missed the whole
I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
Can you rewind to just
He
that
cut off the 6 foot length
Constitution
of chain.
part?
He pulled up and said, "You walk out with that chain." And you walk to the car and say, "You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head." If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. Thank you very much.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Why don't you show that super obese, grotesque Donald Trump with his hair flying up in the air, looking like a fucking idiot?
Oh, let me actually show you. Can you? Hey, let me show you. Let me show you my. Let me show you my desktop. Hey, Rob. Let me show you my desktop over here.
Yes, sir.
Chill, dog. That's what I think about your.
He's on a delay. It's gonna take a second for him to see it. But Rob, did Super Tuesday play out the way you thought? It sounds like it did.
It did.
Are you a Biden supporter?
Of course. Only because, look, let me tell you something. It's because I know that Donald Trump is scared to fucking death to run against Biden. He can claim that he's going to do. Joe Biden's going to tear that son of a bitch up in any debate. Donald Trump is
I don't know.
toast. He's
The
history.
Democrats established.
He better appoint every fucking judge
Hold
he
up.
can
Hey,
until
Rob.
January.
Rob.
He cannot pardon
Let him
himself.
run
I
out,
do
Steve.
not think even the Supreme Court will allow him to do that to him and his family. But regardless, next January, the state of New York is going to hit him with many felony warrants the day he's out of office. Donald Trump, the rest of his fucking life is screwed, and he knows it.
Well, okay. Now listen.
He may be right. He was right
Let's-
about Biden this whole time.
I'll tell you this. If I was running against him and if I was the Democratic nominee and I beat him in the general, I would wait for those indictments to come out and then I would probably pardon him. But I would bar him from
If you were the president,
if I was the president,
And then
I would
pardon him?
probably pardon him.
That's a boss move
No,
right there.
no.
That's a boss
I
move.
I could see pardoning Nixon because it ended the Vietnam War and it stopped the draft. And he let people come back from Canada, all of us people that were not going to fight in a fake-ass war.
Not Muhammad Ali.
What's that, sir?
Not Muhammad Ali. They gave him trouble.
No Vietnam ever called him the N-word.
Yeah. And what was his famous quote? Why he didn't want to go fight Vietnam? He said no Vietnamese ever called him an N.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say it. That'd have been
No,
great.
he wasn't going to say it.
Didn't call him an
I
N.
didn't say it. I said that's exactly what Muhammad Ali said.
All right, we
on
cannot spend too much time on this. We
national
got to
TV.
get to 40 Days
He
of Taco.
Said, when they asked
We
him,
really
why
don't have
come
time to
you
do
won't go
taco.
fight
We gotta do
Vietnam?
taco.
English
We'll do
based about
tacos
it.
quick.
He
All
said,
right.
I live in America. I ain't never had a Vietnamese call me the N-word.
So listen,
Well, they don't speak English.
Rob, do you? Yeah, our new friend, our new friend that we met tonight, Sterling. He gets all his facts from Rush Limbaugh. Are you a big Rush Limbaugh listener?
Rush Limbaugh cannot die fast enough for me. I hope that cancer eats him alive. I hope his
How
death
can
is
you say
horrific
that and
he's
say
headed
that you're
for
a
the
moral
pits of
person?
hell.
Listen, how can you
That
on
man is pure evil. That man has never said a true word in his life.
listen
He
here,
is
Rob.
not
How
sober.
can you say?
You can stay sober like I have.
My
you have to tell
God.
the truth every
We got to do this
day
every
and
time
every
with this
day.
guy. I'm pretty. Hey, listen.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go, Rob. Thank you so much
Thanks
for calling in.
brother.
We'll talk to you
I,
later.
I don't hold back my opinion, do I?
No, you got to give us some space to get in and converse with you.
We need to get you over here and get your own show.
We need to put him on our network, right?
We're going to do a spin-off with just Rob,
Would you do
Rob
a
the chef.
podcast?
He just talks about what he thinks as he's cooking.
We'll call it Chef Rob.
Yeah.
And he talks about whatever
Hey,
he
look.
wants.
Look, before you cut me off, look, guys, I respect y'all. I
Cut 'em
wouldn't
off.
call y'all every week. And, yeah, I do get fired up about this kind of stuff.
So do
but
we,
I
man.
seriously,
So do we.
Carlos, Jimmy, more to Carlos, I seriously am worried about this country, and it's all because of Republicans and Donald Trump. And, Carlos, you know in your damn soul it's the truth. Last week when Jimmy got all pissed and running around talking about, how you knew what you would not admit to, come on, Carlos, man. You know this country is we're in big trouble.
Big trouble. In Little China. I agree with you. Rob, we love you. Keep calling in. We love you. Thanks for calling, man. Making the show fun.
There's a lot of trouble in China right now, man. The streets are bare. and the houses are full of coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
The cannoli virus, man.
You know, it's we've got some information. Okay, let's do a recap of 40 Days of Tacos.
40 Days of Tacos have been going on. It's been going on for 4 days.
How
many days?
7 days now.
All right, 7
'Cause
days.
It started last Wednesday. My blowout last week, which I felt shame for losing my cool, but
It's
you
okay.
know what triggered me, man?
No cigarettes.
Is that was one of the things, but what triggered me is I just want us, like, we've got to find the bridge. I want the bridge. And now I know you've got a different mechanism or way to do it, and you've got concerns about doing it, but I just want every American citizen to have a guaranteed health care. I believe it is a human right, and I'm not spinning Bernie's platform here, but I think as the richest country in the world, we can find a way, and I'm not talking about instilling socialism, but number one on my platform is making sure everybody can get the health care that they deserve and they need, so that nobody's dying at home.
Correct. No, and you know
Okay.
that we
So
agree
that's-
on
that's-
that. That's
so
what
I
we
lost my
talked
mind on
about.
that.
That's what we
So-
talked about last week.
So then
well, here's the problem,
started,
though. Here's the problem with what it was. What you're saying is fine, and I can agree with you on certain aspects, but calling me immoral or my thinking is immoral or that you're holier than thou, that's where we can get some issues. And if we can, like, stop throwing the mud at each other, talk about the actual issues instead of going, you've got to be
Yeah, we'll see if that works.
Anyways, we're talking about tacos here.
So let's talk about tacos.
7 days ago, we started tacos.
7 days of tacos, 7 days ago, we started 40 days of tacos. For Lent, I don't give up something. I dedicate my life to something, and I eat nothing but tacos. And it's a lot. It's a lot more difficult than people would think. Like, you have to plan out your day. You can't just go home to a taco dead zone,
right,
and then want to get tacos without driving, back to a taco plethora. Luckily, I live in South Austin. There's plenty of taco trucks. I got a couple other friends that are in on this with me. We got old Karate Brandon. We've got it's not karate that he does. Taekwondo Brandon. We've got Cajun has joined the mix. Colleen's doing it. I think Desiree's doing it. We've got I saw Neil. I see Neil out there eating a taco, a pretty little taco. Neil was very against 40 Days of Tacos.
You shouldn't say it like that. Pretty little taco like that.
Well, it was. It was a beautiful taco that day.
Can we start? So listen.
Pull up the Facebook.
What you guys
page.
can do if you wanted to is check out the Facebook fan page of 40 Days of Taco.
It's a I found that as a Catholic, when I was giving up something, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna cuss for 40 days, and then like day 10 I'd cuss, and then once you start cussing, you can't stop, and then so it's a great graphic. Who did the graphics here?
I don't know. Looks great.
Like a screenshot of a
Must have
Word
paid
document
somebody
or
to do that.
something. So
let's check out some of these tacos here, guys.
Oh, this is what I had for dinner.
What
today.
is this? Can you make that big?
This is
Tell us a little bit about
Tacos de Adobada.
Adobada?
At Taquerias Arandas, one of the first Mexican restaurants that I visited when I moved to Austin,
right?
on South First.
Great
Now,
place.
This is the platter. It was I believe $9.49 or something. 3 fajita tacos with some hefty, healthy limes, a little bowl of some of the chara beans, and some avocado on the side. I got a side of sour cream. As you can see, I dolled them up there with some salsa and some sour cream. I dumped those down. Big old grilled jalapeno. Everywhere you go, you get different kinds of tacos, different kind of tortillas. Also, there was chips and salsa. This is one of the questions. Like, when I'm doing 40 Days of Tacos, do I eat the chips and salsa? It's not a taco. And I'm not about to get a tortilla.
You're a purist,
I'm a purist
when it comes to that. And I was going to talk about my experience with 40 Days of Taco. You're a purist, which means that you go.
But let's see here.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But you're a purist, and I think some people want to know what a purist, when it comes to 40 Days of Tacos, means. He's eating nothing but tacos. That's
Everything
the bottom line.
is in a taco. Now, and they
I
do
don't know
call,
why you didn't just put your face on there.
They call me Taco
And then
Jesus.
what's up with this the missing
Jesus was
the
black.
missing tooth?
Jesus was black. Oh,
I got-
You're
Here
gonna
we go
talk
again.
about
No,
his skin
look at
color.
his tooth. Like
Is
it's
he
not
missing a
It's
tooth?
not a full thing of teeth.
I don't know. I stole that from
Like he's
somebody.
going like this either. Like
So look, let me be honest with you about these rules. So there's been times when during 40 Days of Tacos, I find myself away from a taco truck. A taco is not available. I don't even have a tortilla to make a taco out of something. In this situation, there's several outs. Okay, if you allow it, and like for instance, a hot dog, an American taco.
American taco.
American taco. Now,
Not really,
you
though.
can't front load that hot dog. You got to go at it on the side, eat it like a taco.
Oh, can you do underneath, or do you have to hold it upside down? You got to
Who
make.
eats a taco like that?
I don't know.
You going like this? You gonna front load a taco like that? No. You
People
grab
just
it,
tuning in.
you grab it from
we're
the
talking
top.
about tacos.
You grab it from the top and come in and eat it like a taco. Eat it like a taco. I mean, there's no other way
Well,
to.
I sort of what I'll do is I'll wrap it and so that it'll do this where it does like a burrito style thing, but it still has the ends open, and that's when I'll like kind of do this
Yeah.
U shape where.
I mean, if you do the rollover and somebody walks in and they're not familiar with what you're doing, they're gonna think you're eating a tiny burrito. So if you're amongst the other taco disciples, they might call you out and be like, "Blasphemy!"
Oh, so you have to do
Tiny
the pinch?
burrito. I'm just saying what you've kind of made is a taquito. So you're still within the rules, but
Why are
so
we? Why are we?
there's a breakfast taco that I had.
Looks like Brian, the cutout of Brian Nelson is in there from Whisker Wars. There.
So that is a ham, egg, and cheese from my lady that's over off of Ben White and South First. She was in a green truck. It's now just no, it was a red truck. Now they just painted it green again. It was green originally when I first met her. Then it was red. Now it's green again. I don't know what they're going on, what's going on over there with the colors of the truck, but good stuff. Alex LaRoche, also from Whisker Wars. I
Cool
wish
show, man. I wish they brought that back.
So there's people that are posting to the page that are like fans. Colleen posted today. She made a taco. Her taco shell was hash browns. She made a hash brown taco shell.
A hash brown taco
yeah,
shell
like
sounds great.
Hash browns, and then put eggs and some meats and some salsas, and then closed it up, made a hard shell taco out of some hash browns. Tell Jimmy to stop providing prices on public access. Doug said so.
I don't know what prices she's talking about.
Did I say? I said how much my dinner was. Sorry about that.
You can't say that stuff on
probably
public
also
access?
not supposed to read that on air. Also, Doug said don't read messages from my wife on the air. Okay.
All right, we only got a couple minutes
more
left on
prices.
this topic.
So look,
let's keep going with
tacos. Thank you to everybody that's doing it. If you haven't jumped in, it's not too late. All I ask is that you have a taco a day, or you just think about, bringing tacos into your life. And if you do go purist, it's nothing but tacos. And look, I've done it. I've wanted something sweet, and there's not enough. I mean, if you can go to Walmart, they've got Choco Tacos, right? So keep those in the fridge. That's your stash of, I need something sweet.
How many other
I'll take a
purists are
taco.
out there? Are you guys trying to be purists? Who's out there being a taco purist? Let's
Yeah.
see. Type a 1 in the chat.
In the chat.
Yeah, if you guys are being a taco purist. I, on the other hand, I can't do taco all day, every day. But I've been pretty good about having a taco or two for lunch. And I had 4 delicious ones
today
at a food truck on whatchamacallit.
Well, don't tell me how much they were.
And I won't tell you what the name is either.
I will tell you this. I'm really concerned because crawfish season is upon us. And I've been thinking this out. I'm going to bring a bag of slaw.
Those are sea tacos.
I'm going to bring a bag of slaw.
Like
I'm going to bring some like aioli sauce or something, some kind of sauce, and I'm going to go to the crawfish boil, just pick them, and then start throwing them into some corn tortillas. I think they're going to work in a corn tortilla with a little bit of slaw and a little bit of sauce. Just gonna eat some crawfish tacos, man.
A little mango chutney in there.
Ooh, I
yeah.
guarantee.
Anyways, tell us your experience with 40 Days of Tacos, everybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got to get moving on here. Let's go play this coronavirus TikTok here. Make
What'd
a
you
crawfish
yeah,
taco.
what'd you think
Mackenzie's
of
on
this?
the line. She's not on the line. She's in our chat, and she
Hey,
said
what's
make
up,
a crawfish
Mackenzie?
taco. How's it going, Mackenzie? We're not as crazy as we
Yeah.
were last week, so
Crawfish
I just put on
tacos.
my NPR voice. We are just
Well, and
being
then
a
like
little
think
bit
about it,
cooler
because if
today.
it's a good boil, you've got crawfish. You've probably got some sausage. Well, you know,
Sausage,
it depends on where
corn.
you're going. You know, like if you go to a friend's crawfish boil, you're gonna get the good stuff in there. If you go to like a restaurant, they're just gonna serve you like the crawfish. You know, you're not gonna get the potatoes. And let me tell you what the best thing in that boil is: put mushrooms in the mix, because they soak up the spice. It's life. It's the spice of life. I mean, this is what they went to that planet Dune for.
Oh, Dune, bro.
Yes,
I heard they're redoing Dune.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's playing the sea worm, the sandworm. All right, let's play that coronavirus.
I don't think so.
That coronavirus TikTok.
All right. So what this
'Cause
is
he's
that
concerned about, or
this
was
is
concerned about
a
couple weeks ago.
representation. I don't know if you know who the source is on this, but this is science in a graph. And here we go. Let's see. Okay, can you make it bigger?
There was like music that went along with
Okay.
it, but either way, what you can see, move your shoulder.
Which one is
So you got your
Corona.
coronavirus right down
is
there.
the baby blue, and the big one is
And this
SARS.
is like over times. As you can see, SARS was already way
It's
beaten
number
it.
of cases since the outbreak. 18 days, 19 days, 20 days.
Uh-oh. What's going on here?
Here we go. This is a month ago. Oh. So it has gotten worse than SARS. Everybody was like, it's not even as bad as SARS.
I have no idea if that's true or not. Well, you know, that's it could be true in China, man.
Yeah.
It hasn't really made it.
China, Italy, Iran.
Oh, and that dude,
it's got a
wasn't
couple
Sterling
confirmed
Sterling
cases
saying,
in New York.
Sterling was saying, or out there, he was saying.
All of a sudden, he's your trusted source.
No. But remember, he was saying
Guy
something
we
about
meet
how
on the wheelchair
there's a
ramp?
conspiracy that Trump actually released to Iran and got those Iran politicians.
Okay, but so this is a
thought that
guy,
was funny.
you know, and Sterling. Hey, if you're listening, thanks, man, for running
were
into
great.
you. But okay, I got a couple friends kind of like you, Sterling, that listen to one source, right? And
I don't even listen to Rush.
So if you listen to
One source?
somebody and they're like, and no, the Democrats are saying that Trump poisons.
Who do you think my source is, by the way?
the Iranians?
Who do you think my source is?
I don't know that.
Like, if I have one source, who is it?
That douchebag guy that's always
Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, no, what's the other guy? The online dude that
Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
I do listen to Ben Shapiro every day, but I also check out Tucker Carlson, Steven Crowder, Michael Knowles.
Crowder. Yeah.
Do you not like Crowder?
And
He does those wonderful things where he does sort of what we try to do is talk to the opposite. He'll set up something on a campus and say, you know, he'll rationalize his stance and
if
you
I
talk
may,
to him in
if
a
I
civil
may,
way.
you know, like
unlike what we do here sometimes.
So like Monday, you guys triggered me, right? Remember that?
Right. Well,
So-
he asked you a question and you started insulting us, and then I started backing you up with answers to the questions. Are we going to go through our text? We don't even have time for this. We got to get.
We don't have
into-
time, but I want to take a video snapshot of that text because it all started with a question about
voter ID.
Yeah. Why is it such a problem to have an ID to vote? And this is a good example of us having a conversation. And I noticed I did say that thing about libertarian. Go pull out your libertarian manifesto.
That's when it started.
And you guys were like, "Oh, no you didn't."
No, it wasn't
and
like that.
and so what I was trying to say was, you know,
You started
aren't-
saying, "What do you
aren't
have
y'all
fears?"
against taxes? Aren't you against taxes? And I'd like to maybe talk about this sometime in the future, but the question is, should you have to have an ID to vote? And And then if you have to have an ID to vote and you can't afford it, should the government provide one for you because it is your constitutional right to vote? Now, we can argue, is it your right to vote in a Democratic primary or a Republican primary, or is it just the general election where it's protected? And then we can get into that argument as well. But
why? Because it's a right.
I say that if you have to have an ID and you have to pay for it, it's a poll tax.
Why is
and you
no?
guys
That's not
and
true.
you guys
No, it's not.
don't agree with me.
Why is something that if it's a right that it should be given to you easily by the government? Because guns are a right, and that is definitely not easy to get by the government.
Okay, we can't. But that's apples
I
and
know.
oranges.
It's not apples and oranges. They are
It
rights.
is apples and oranges.
They are human
Don't make me
rights.
stand up and walk out of here and shaking my hands above my shoulders.
Well, when you say they're apples and oranges, we're gonna have to disagree on that because I feel
Well,
that
I agree to disagree.
Okay, then that's how we're gonna do it. The thing is, we can do that. We can do that, right?
Yeah. Since the doctor told me I'm dying.
I thought you you were real angry.
Were you coughing?
I got a little bit. I'm a little phlegmy.
Oh gosh.
I'm a little phlegmy.
All right, what are we doing?
I think we just gotta let's skip this. You want to do this? Donald Trump Jr. ruffled some feathers with this comment.
You know,
you don't have to be indoctrinated by these loser teachers that are trying to sell you socialism.
A good friend of mine, buddy I went to college with, he's a professor at a university in Tennessee, and he had shared.
He's a left leaning guy.
I mean,
individual.
Let me tell you this: you live in Tennessee, it's hard to be left, okay? Because there's a lot of people that don't go left in Tennessee. It's hard to be left in Arkansas or Alabama or Mississippi. It's just not. It's just not the thing. And then you're like, well, I'm a Democrat, but I believe in such and such, And then it's like, what?
You can't appropriate that accent.
You're living in a crazy world here. So anyway,
what is this video? Is this a video? Sweet.
What? Yeah, it's a video of Junior. So Junior is doing a campaign speech. I don't know where this one was, but he is talking about the youth today. Wind it all the way to the beginning. And
I love seeing some young conservatives because I know it's not easy.
Talking about how hard it is to be a young.
I like that these guys that didn't look great without a beard, like
you know what I love?
Like Cruz and.
I love seeing some young conservatives because I know it's not easy. Keep up that fight. Bring it to your schools. You don't have to be indoctrinated by these loser teachers that are trying to sell you on socialism from birth.
Right?
You don't have to do it.
The teacher that made the girl take off her
MAGA
Trump
shirt.
Yeah, that's what this is all about.
Yeah. So.
Teachers shouldn't be doing that. When I was a kid, this reminded me.
But look.
I can't get into my story?
No, forget your story. Let me just real quick answer. You can get to your story in just a second. But
okay.
I just want to say, people don't choose their words right, okay? They don't choose their actions. They respond with emotion. You're a teacher. Maybe you don't align with this young lady's policies, but you're teaching a class. You might be teaching, what if it's it doesn't matter what the class is. But in the interest of not bringing disruption to the classroom, I can see taking that shirt off, or please, I would pull him aside and say, look, I support you. Maybe a pen.
To the teacher or
it's
to
a
the
distraction
class?
to the class.
No, it's a distraction to the teacher.
If there's somebody else, and maybe it is. Maybe it is a distraction to the teacher.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, if you wore a shirt that said, hey, all of your beliefs are bullshit and I think you're a piece of garbage, and you wore that, comma, yeah, you teacher. If you wore that
I'm gonna
shirt
use your
in
argument,
the front row.
apples and oranges.
Yeah.
One says make America great again. The other one says you are a fucking idiot. I don't want to listen to you. There's two different things there, and let's make that straight.
Well, the Make America Great
you know what you're doing when you say that.
Which
you
you
deserve to get your head bashed in if you wear those hats.
We have to remember that we're coming from two different camps where I think America's as great as we deserve, and we can make it better. We can make it worse, and right now, making it better for one segment of the population is not in my plan.
What
I
segment
would,
is that?
Trump supporters. That right now, it's as long as you're a Trump supporter, America's getting great.
No, it's getting great for women. Their unemployment's the lowest. Blacks' unemployment's the lowest. The economy, well, it did a little tank in for a little bit, but it's on its way back up there. Yeah, he's really just doing things for one sec. The economy affects literally every single person in America. And as long as that's doing good, we're all doing great, y'all.
Cool.
Right? So he says this thing about socialism, which I get.
So
it's not great to tell kids to rebel against the teachers, but the teachers need to know that their policy or whatever they think about politics should be aside, and they should just teach what they should teach. I never heard anything about any side when I was growing up with teachers. I didn't even know who they voted for. Didn't even care.
Let me tell you what the educational system is for, is to fit people into boxes. Okay. If you can fit in that box, then that means that you are employable. Okay? That's why corporations help fund these universities. That's why you're required to jump through all these hoops to get yourself employed. So,
other than what, you just receive what you want. They teach you the skills to do something when in the future. Is that bad? I'm not sure what you're for or against on this. That school's there to set them up to fit in a box later.
Yeah, so that they're employable.
Well,
yeah.
What do you set them up for?
If you follow the rules, like listening,
sure,
at a lecture,
it can sound a little
doing the homework,
mm-hmm.
turning it in on time, getting the good marks,
get you ready,
passing the test, showing
ahead.
that you can regurgitate
Go
things,
ahead.
and then you get a good grade. You get a good grade, you graduate with high marks, you've got a high GPA, you're more employable than the person that got a 2.0
right.
versus a 4.0. If you got a 4.0, oh wow, you did great.
Yeah.
You've got to have been able to jump through all the hurdles, and I won't have a hard time getting you indoctrinated into my system that we have here at this such and such business, and you're not a risk. That's what college is for, to make you employable. Yes, also to gain knowledge. And then you're able to take some electives to satisfy you. Now, if you're there for business and you're going to be a stock market trader and your daddy was an oil man and you're from Texas and your daddy went here and your grandpappy went here and blah blah blah, and then you decide you want to take some side elective course and you don't like the politics in your teacher, so you're going to just sit there and be a disruption and wear that shirt to trigger your teacher. Well, you've just knocked down everybody's chance of getting a good education because you have affected that snowflake teacher to a point where they're not able to get through their lesson plan. And I'm telling you, it's the right thing to do to not wear that shirt.
Okay, fair enough. I think you're wrong.
We're just like agreeing.
We were talking about here is that we were talking about how DJT, by the way, DTJ said something about socialism. You shouldn't let your teachers indoctrinate you. He said that publicly. I wanted you to see this, though. This is pretty bad, and it's the next link here. And it's a tweet from, I can click on it here. That's Donald Trump there. I'll pop it up here.
What do you got?
If I do get coronavirus, I'm attending every MAGA rally I can. Denver councilwoman quotes solidarity to tweet. So somebody had tweeted this. She had retweeted it saying that. Of course, she backed it up. Councilwoman C.D. Baca made a sarcastic tweet on Twitter to call attention to the Trump administration of downplaying the coronavirus outbreak as a hoax no more dangerous than the common flu. Rather than conservative outlets making a 4-day-old tweet their focus on Super Tuesday, they should focus their energy on demanding a competent federal response to this public health crisis instead.
So, okay. So with context, we understand that she was responding directly after, I think it was last Thursday, he had a rally, and he was in North Carolina or something, or it was in South Carolina. This was on Friday, and he was talking about how the coronavirus is a hoax made up by the Democrats and the liberal media, and it's no big deal. We've got it covered. We've got all the best people. Got Mike Pence that doesn't believe in science on it, and he says it's a hoax. So she was responding to that. Now it looks like she shared a tweet that somebody said that
and
thing.
then said solidarity, yes, to 3 smiley face emojis, black power fist, and a black one of these.
It's a brown
But
power.
they don't do this. It's
okay.
This. It's like a 6.
I don't know. Don't do it. Just whatever you do, don't do it. No.
Well, that's not the white pride. This is the white pride thing.
Well, don't do that.
Oh no! We're off the air. Oh no, we're back on. Okay, great. Back on. All right, great. Let's see here. And there's people. People are pissed about it.
But what if I wanted to say, like, because I think you
people
do
are pissed about
okay in scuba diving, like when everything's okay.
It's not.
Actually, I'm all right.
Yeah.
But this is something in scuba diving. I don't know what it is.
Well, okay, so people, so people are saying.
Are they calling for a resignation?
No, they're not that bad. They're saying any person that can wish harm on, incites others to cause harm.
Okay, President Trump, if it's a hoax, if I get it, then I'm going to come to one of the rallies.
But
and
nuance is
shouldn't get
a whole
anybody's
big thing.
Right. Just like today, your buddy Senator Schumer.
My buddy?
Yeah.
No.
Your buddy Schumer.
That's your buddy. My buddy is who he talked to today.
In front of the Supreme Court.
That's right.
Did you hear about what happened today?
Yeah, he said you're going to pay for it.
He says if you allow this to happen, then you're going to pay, and you're going to, it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you. And so everybody's like, oh, he threatened them. Number one, Schumer ain't threatening anybody. He ain't doing anything. Number two.
Schumer like this right here, like this, right?
And this is where you yell at me all the time, like, oh, you're projecting intent, Jimmy. Well, let me tell you what Schumer meant. What Schumer meant was, if you continue this precedent, the degradation of the law and order to continue, and this attack on the judicial system by our current president, what he's saying about jurors, what he's saying about judges. If you allow that to happen, that to happen, then it's a slippery slope, and it can do some damage.
I get
to
your
the
point.
justice
Now
system.
notice that I know about what happened. I didn't use that in my example because I don't think it's that a big deal that he says you'll pay for it. I understand his context.
They're at the
on the other hand,
they're at the top of the mountain of the judicial mountain.
This, on the other hand, is oranges to that apples. When someone says, or at least retweets, and you're a councilwoman, you got to be careful what you tweet. So we should just take her retweets as her actual words and saying, if I get this, I'm going to go to MAGA. Now, that's a whole lot different than saying.
But
like,
you getting upset at this?
I'm not getting upset. I'm showing you.
I know. You're just showing.
Showing you.
You're not upset.
No,
calm down.
No,
you calm down. No.
Let me finish. Let me finish real quick. You wanted to make a point of how Donald Trump Jr. will go up in front of people and say, "Don't let doctors indoctrinate you," or whatever, or "Don't let the teachers indoctrinate you." Publicly, you were probably pretty upset. That's why you wanted to do that. So I wanted to show you something in contrast, that someone that's actually in charge of something. Saying something.
Who's Michelle Trevino?
This is actually someone that responded back to her saying any person that could wish harm or incites others to cause harm that could possibly lead to death has absolutely no business in serving in any public position ever. She should apologize and resign. What a disgrace. Vote them all out.
Okay.
So it's someone that's upset about it, obviously. I'm not that pissed where I say.
If anything happens, then we will send them a response that is bigly and bigger than any other response. We'll wipe them out.
Responses.
I wish them harm.
Best responses.
Yeah.
Best responses. We're gonna be coming in.
Shut your mouth.
You're gonna be
Michelle.
so tired of winning.
Everybody's blown it out of proportion.
Hurt.
But this is the problem. 24-hour news cycle.
We need
we
to move on
talk
to the
about
last
bullshit
thing.
Stuff
we only got a few minutes left.
Time.
We got 10 minutes left
What
before we're going to a break. We need to talk about.
What's our break video?
Shoot, we don't have one. I'm gonna get you one ready. why don't you talk about this?
I got a Don's
Finland's-
Automotive race.
No, I'll do an American Mustache Leatherworks video.
Okay.
That'll be easy.
What else you want to talk about?
Can you just look up American Mustache Leatherworks? And that'll be one of our videos. That'll be our video for break. Anyways, Finland. It looks like in Finland they have just about solved the homeless issue.
Yeah, it's what it looked like.
Why does America have such
article.
a hard time adopting progressive ideas from Finland? So we want to read this. Sorry, I'm having you jump back and forth, but Finland ends all homelessness and provides shelter for all in need. This is something that you wanted to bring up, and I'm very interested in talking about the homeless and how we can solve it.
One of the barriers to putting the folks in homes is they choose not to go into the shelters because they have to follow they have to follow or adhere to the shelter's rules, which is leaving their alcohol out on the street, not smoking. Once you're inside, you can't go outside. So like if you're addicted to drugs, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
If you can't go,
Let me read this article here.
Yeah. What do you got?
So this comes from Scoop.me. In Finland, the number of homeless people has fallen sharply. The reason? The country applies the, quote, housing first concept. Those affected by homelessness receive a small apartment and counseling without any preconditions. 4 out of 5 affected thus far make their way back into a stable life, and all this at cheaper than accepting homelessness. And this actually is originally in German, I think. It says read this article in German here. Excuse me.
So, I mean, think about this. If you can get if somebody's out a terrible number of things, I would imagine, a house of cards has to fall down to put somebody on the street, So you slowly are getting used to that idea. It's like, it's far away. It's like, oh, I might end up on the street, and then like,
but really
my
no
gosh, I might
preconditions
end up on
at
the street.
all, though. Like really no preconditions. Like we want to make an effort that they want to try to at least stop drinking alcohol and doing drugs, because most likely that's what got them in the first place, and we don't want to encourage that, right?
Okay, so that's not going to help them get on their feet. So yeah, it sucks.
Well, you
but
give them the counseling and everything, so they have some support and everything.
If they can get into a safe environment and start showing signs of getting back into society, the goal would be to get somebody back into society, off of the drugs, and then if they need it, get them the mental health care that they need to maybe start getting on that other path of getting back into society. So
how is everyone given residence in Finland? Maybe we should talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
So it is NGOs such as the Y Foundation that provide housing for people in need. They take care of the construction themselves, buy flats on the private housing market, and renovate existing flats. These apartments have 1 to 2 rooms. In addition to that, former emergency shelters have been converted into apartments in order to offer long-term housing. Homeless people turn into tenants with Tennessee agreement. So they like a lease or something, right? They also have to pay rent and operating costs. This is great. I would love this.
And it's a reduced price. I mean, they're not paying $1,000 a month.
Some responsibility.
Yes,
that they want.
You can't give people something for free.
Right.
I was told that a long time ago in the business. Like, you got to charge people for a show. If you just have a free show, they're not invested in it. No, I think this is from the Finland. Oh no, this is Business Insider. What are you showing us, Brando?
That's okay. Well, that's mine coming up here. Go to this one here. So they are reducing their homelessness down to almost nothing.
Nothing.
They're doing great here. Now, why aren't we following that?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a very simple thing here. And equal times here.
Who's paying for this in Finland?
The people of Finland are paying for it.
The taxpayers. So the government is doing this program.
So I did a little bit of research on this, and I found equaltimes.org with their article saying Finland's housing first policy proves that homelessness is avoidable. So this is helping out a little bit more. But here's something I did want to read here. I wanted to find out how many homeless people are in Finland. There are approximately 5,500 homeless people in Finland, of a country of approximately 5.5 million people. Most of them are sofa surfing with friends and family, like backpackers and everything. The number of street homelessness is only in the hundreds. So they don't have a very big population of homelessness. And contrast that to what we're getting now in January 2018 here. We have 500,000 plus homelessness. So if we wanted to do that, it can happen in counties, in smaller counties, and we can make this happen in the cities. But I think we do want to give them something, but we want them to be responsible for it. And I think this whole thing where they're making them pay for it, I think that's a great step forward. And
it's an idea. I saw it today,
It's great.
and I shared it with you guys so that we could just kind of get, because we're going to be talking with Mackenzie next week from
that's right,
from the Homeless People Are Bad group, and so
Take Back Austin.
Yeah, and then so we're gonna be talking about this. I've often said that we need to find solutions, and not just post pictures of homeless people or but it sucks. It sucks, and it's a human condition issue. It's everywhere. There's homeless in every country, and it's terrible. Now, it's terrible for me to think about it, but it might be fine for the guy that's homeless. I don't know. Maybe we need to get a homeless guy in here and talk to him or her and several of them and see what's going on. Maybe we need to go out on the street with the camera and talk to these people and say, hey, what would it take to get you off the street? They're going to say, give me $1 million. Well, that doesn't work. I mean, you seen that video? I won the lottery and then I killed my whole family. Like, you heard those terrible stories of people that win the lottery. People that win the lottery normally are in like some rural area. It's just like they buy a boat, they buy a truck, they buy all the jet skis, and then they buy a big old house, and then there's murder every time. Can we go to break?
Let's go to break. So you guys are still with us. Phone number is on the screen. We're going to go to a break. This is American Mustache Leatherworks, probably one of the process videos that I've made. We're going to be back.
How many people on the street? 500 in the whole country?
In the hundreds. So they didn't want to say it's probably 100 or 200.
That's like a really easy,
under 500.
That's a really easy problem to solve.
So when you hear that homelessness is going down in Finland, it's coming. You're like, because you got a lot of people that are backpacking. And that's what they don't. They were like, okay, there's 500. They said 5,500 homeless people. But there's actually really just a couple hundred that are actually homeless.
I'm not sure if Finland's one of those countries, but there's some of those Scandinavian countries, they have that living wage. Like if you're not making any money,
they give you
a
UBI or something.
You get like
universal basic income.
Yeah. There's that.
Man, I miss you, Andrew Yang. I would have been down for that $1,000 a month, right, Brandon? Yeah, he's down for that. You got that video
got the
ready?
Break video.
All right, we'll be back, you guys. Check out this video from American Mustache Leatherworks. With black edge paint. And here's the process. Get yourself some leather and neat's foot oil. Rub some in using your lint-free cloth. And we're going to do two layers of this. 2 coats, rather. That's the word I'm thinking of. In between the coats, we're going to let it sit about 5-10 minutes so it sits in there and fully saturates. Here is the second coat. And I like to do this because it really, really takes the dye really well. I'm using Pro dyes, so it's not as necessary, but come on, it makes the leather feel super soft, so I want that. We're going to be using Mahogany Pro dye, as I said before. And the first step, I like to swirl. Using a lint-free cloth. No dauber here, my friends. First layer is easy. Let it sit 5-10 minutes. Here's the second layer. And you're going to go with a diagonal back and forth. You can do it any way you want. I know Chuck Dorset likes to just dip it into the Pro dye. You can do it any way you want. 3 layers, 3 coats is what I'm putting on. Of course, letting it sit 5-10 minutes. Doi.
Do it any way you like. Just get the color on there. Of course, so are the gloves. So I'm going to finish the leather with this burnishing gum. Expensive burnishing gum, by the way. I don't see a lot of people using it in this way. I usually just see them use it for burnishing, but it is for leather. And man, does it just feel good. It feels good. It makes it slick. It darkens up the color a lot, which is also desired. So let's get cutting. Here is my template. Very simple 2-piece pattern. And we're going to just do them both twice. So 4 pieces of this wallet all together. Very simple. Cutting out the pattern can be easy if you use a new blade. Of course, use one of those rulers that have cork underneath it so that it can grip so you don't slide. I can't tell you how many projects I've messed up using the wrong kind of ruler. You could use a dull knife. You're just going to have to cut a few extra times to get your cut, and it's just not as clean, but it'll still cut. So do what you want, but be what you are. Watch those fingertips too. Did you just give me the finger? Alright, I'm going to put my brand on there, my maker mark. I have 2 stamps I like to use. The first one I'm going to put on will be the American flag using my half-ton arbor press from Amazon. I think I paid like $70 for it. It's worth every penny. There it is, American mustache. All right, so let's start the burnishing process of these pockets. We're just going to do the 2 front pockets there, back and front, and you're going to go ahead and use a beveler. This is a cheapo one, which I've sharpened, which works really well. The other ones I have kind of dig a little too deep for this project, so I decided to go with that. Using the same burnishing gum I used to finish the leather, we're going to burnish. This is an old-fashioned thing. This just makes those edges really rounded off and smooth, and it's going to take edge paint, which is the next process after that. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself just yet. Rub it in good, get your slicker, and you want to hear that squeak. That's how you know it's working. Listen. See? All right, it's all done. Get your edge coat. Again, it's phi-beams, whatever. Here's a close-up. I got the Craftman's or I don't know what the brand of that is. I got it at Tandy's. It was like the $25 one. I could have opted for a cheaper one, but man, come on. You gotta have the tools. As Tim the Toolman Taylor would say. So once you get that edge paint on, you're gonna let it sit. Look at how nice that looks. Slick, like glass. Alright, I need to shave this down a bit, and we're gonna skive it. I love using this French skiver. French beveler, rather. And I got this one at Tandy's. God, Tandy's is so good. Don't you love Tandy's? It's like every single tool I see there, I gotta have. So I'm just gonna skive the edges, not the top, because I want that to be sort of thick. Alright. It's gonna have round bottom edge, as you saw in the beginning of the video. So we're gonna get those marked. I like to have these done, or like to have these cut later. There's just something, if you just cut it wrong the first time, or you have the pattern cut, it just seems weird, and I like to do this last. All right, use the template to mark where you're going to glue it down, or you can just use the piece, but it happens to be drying as we speak, so we're going to glue it down here. Man, I'm going fast. I wish that I can make these things as fast as I can show them to you. Got some glue in the squeeze bottle and my glue stick thing spreader. Let it dry. Both sides you apply glue to, and now you slap it in there. Really being careful. You don't want very much overlay, less work to do later. And you want those edges to meet just about perfect. Perfect would be great, but you know what Salvador Dali says about perfection. All right, so what I told you here, we're going to cut that now. Those round edges are happening. Great. So I want the inside of those pockets to not be just bare leather color, natural leather color, so I'm going to dye them just a quick little coat of that mahogany. Man, I'm moving fast on this project, aren't I? Get your compass. We're going to scratch in our stitch line here. As you can see, there you go. Go around those edges very carefully. It's easy to slip and really mess up your project, so take your time. There's no rush, man. Here are those $20 chisels that I got. They're still working really well. This is the 5mm. And we're just going to do the top line of both of the sides, I guess. Both sides. All right, to stitch, you're going to want about 4 times the length, so I measure it, I double it over, and double that over. My scissors, we cut, grab your needles, and thread. Look at how easy it is to thread needles. I don't know why people think it's such a hard thing to thread needles. It's not that hard. Maybe it's because I have the big eye ones. But even then, I used to sew when I was a kid. Those little holes are easy to get through. Ooh, that sounds dirty. All right, here's the in-the-hand saddle stitch that I've showed previously. And I think I'll make a video on saddle stitching in the future. Cut. Oh, where'd the lighter go? There it is. And that's just how you finish your stitch. Pretty easy. You're going to beat down those stitches down a bit so they sit really nice and flush. And we're going to get into burnishing again. You got to bevel the edges, sand them down. Tedious work, tedious work. So I use gradually higher grit each time. And then you get into burnishing, burnishing, burnishing. Listen for that squeak. It's working. Edge coat time. So I've said in previous videos, the way that I like to finish my edges is 3 times. And what I mean is I'm going to put down a layer of edge coat, let that dry.
Felt great.
Then I'm going to grab my soldering iron.
You heard about the intermittent fasting? Everybody's talking about the intermittent fasting.
That's what you literally do every day before you go to, or while you sleep.
Well, while you sleep, yeah. And they say that you're supposed to eat no later than like 8 o'clock. Can you guys hear us? Are we on? Are we live?
Okay.
All right, we're back.
We are back,
that was,
you guys.
American Mustache Leather how-to video on how to make the Tui wallet, the Tui squeeze.
That's right.
And
the squeeze, I squeeze like anaconda.
Cool. Yeah. What do you got planned for us today? We
fuck those pecs.
I'm wearing a shirt. It's a schmedium here.
Schmedium.
It's ham.
Yeah, where'd you get that from? The Baby Gap?
I got it from Goodwill. This is a Goodwill shirt. Also, I don't know if I can I promote something? Amplify Austin.
No, you can't promote anything on this show.
Is tomorrow. Amplify Austin is a thing that they do here at Channel Austin, and they have a bunch of nonprofits that get together and they talk about what they do. That starts tomorrow. I think it's 2 days. I don't know. Go to Amplify Austin for more information. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure I said that just in case Doug's still watching.
Wonderful. Well, we're
Other
about to
camera.
do what we like to do at the end of the show. For about 30 minutes, we're going to be playing some funny videos, some public freakouts, and all around just a good time. Very nice. So the first one's coming, and this is a fake
here, is that
martial
right?
arts master.
21.2 pounds.
That's the brick right there.
Right.
Okay. And why the glass?
I'm going to break that concrete slab with that glass without breaking the glass.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's going to work.
The tension's building. And
That's incredible. Wait, no, to be honest, I actually.
I think
felt
about
these
look at
bricks.
this.
These are real
This is
bricks.
like a
There's-
studio
there's
like
no
this.
Wow!
Oh, did I take
it out, baby?
Could you just play back real quick to that part?
To be honest, I actually felt these bricks. These are real bricks. I mean, there's no joke.
Not so real there, Doug.
Out, baby. Guns.
I don't know why I called him Doug. I didn't,
Here's the best
his
part.
name is Steve.
Well, keep playing. It's like it's so awkward with that.
Okay.
This guy just cannot believe that happened.
I'm sorry.
You ruined everything.
Okay, what is this over here?
This is 110 pounds.
Okay.
With the head.
Okay, go for it.
Don't touch
I
it.
won't touch it.
This guy's having a
Don't
good time.
touch my.
Don't touch it.
My really soft bricks.
Woo! You know what? Either way, that was impressive. That was
Either way.
Okay,
Either
so,
way, if those were
lots of discipline goes
real or
into
not.
martial arts.
Okay. Thank you, Brandon.
Okay,
All right.
That's too good.
You know.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it, motherfucker.
That is unfortunate. I mean, for martial arts, that's unfortunate because I'm sure it does take some skill to do that. I mean,
We got a buddy that does that kind of stuff for realsies.
you know, you've got to do micro fractures in your extremities. Like a lot of that punching is all about, you know, breaking your hand over and over to build up a stronger bone. And so your hayah has got to be on point.
Your what?
Your hayah. And and that was sad because that guy was outed as having some shitty ass blocks.
Well, you know, if you have a bully, it's probably good that you learn to defend yourself.
Yeah.
What does that look like? It looks a little bit like this.
Look at me.
Kia!
Shut up, Mom. Oh, we don't talk now.
Dude, that guy's swinging hammers. Nope. Boom. Showed him mercy. Oh!
Wow!
That was intense.
What I loved was he was like, okay, you know, what are you doing? And he was like, this is your time to say, I'm sorry.
But the fire is building, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they have instinct to
last-
come in and get their ass beat some more. Like that
So-
happens with somebody that. Oh, that's the next video we're about to play here. Because you were talking about how Charlie Mason, our good buddy of ours and friend of the show here, he's kind of an irrational fear.
Yes, he does. It turns out that right now that he was telling me that his switch on his door isn't working, so his windows don't roll down. And you know, it's a problem in life not having your window. If you got to go to the ATM, you got to go to the drive-through. So I thought that it was like some of those types of concerns, but no. What he was concerned about, he's like, and you know, I just really, you know, terrified every time I drive through a puddle. You know, I'm scared I'm gonna drown in my car. And
That is so weird. Just
so
a
he
puddle?
I mean, like anytime it rains,
he
he's
drives
like
over a bridge or
his
something?
anxiety is going up because he thinks that he's gonna just like drive through some low. Like how many low areas that flood are there in Austin? I only know of maybe one over there at Shoal Creek, but just drive around it. I don't understand it. But it does happen, and I guess this is your evidence that it is possible to get yourself stuck.
Oh my fucking god! What do we do? How, we're in a river! Look! Look!
Oh my god, what do we do, John William? We have to get
We should
My
send this to
bumper
Charlie.
flew off over there.
Oh my god, John William!
What do we
John
do?
William.
How,
John
what do we
William.
do? We're gonna drown. Michaela, my car's filling up with water. Michaela. Michaela. Michaela.
Hold on, I gotta find my purse. It has all my money in it. Oh my god. Where's my purse? It has all my money in it. Fuck. Where? Oh my god. Michaela. Oh my god. What do we do? Michaela, what do we do? We're gonna get filled. I can't get my door open. It's filling up.
Okay, that's it. What in the world just happened here?
Okay, so
Now,
this is one of those
thank
like
goodness that he had the smarts
to look for his purse.
Well, to have his phone out first and record.
Well, first things first, and you know what? As dumb as that may look,
That's
you know,
a legitimate
the fact
concern.
that your car is in a lake and you're filling up with water and your impending death is before you, grabbing your phone as your first instinct, it doesn't seem like the smartest thing. But man, how many times have you been like, man, I should have really grabbed my phone? Like, what is it, that instinct of grabbing your phone in that moment when you're about to get gored by a bull? You're like, oh, that bull looks mad. I could be running away, but let me just get a good old shot of this guy coming right at me. and then so, you know, if he hadn't done it, we wouldn't have this video to talk about. So let's not beat him up too much. Everybody, when you're in a life and death situation, make sure you grab your phone, record it first, and then we'll go from there.
Let's see what we got next. We've got a public freakout. Idiot. Oh no, that's the last one. Kid hurts himself dancing. Oh yeah.
What do you do?
Maybe he realized how bad his dancing was and took a fall.
Well,
because that was absolutely terrible. First of all,
let me tell you this: that kid's gonna get an A. He's gonna get an A. That teacher cannot give him anything other than an A. Yeah, whatever that guy said. Yes, that's what the teacher's saying. He's like, try to move your kneecap. That's what happened. Your kneecap fell out. That kid was giving it his all. And God bless him for trying, but should have done a couple more practice reps at home because your knees are jelly, my friend, and you just earned yourself 6 weeks in one of those immobilization casks.
And you dance like a fag. Let's go to the next video here.
What's happening? He's in front of the door.
Pause real quick.
Guys in front of the door.
I fear that the volume of the video is louder than us because I get Johnny Rodriguez saying talk louder. If we can just.
Well, the volume's all different on all of them, and apparently y'all have a hard time talking directly into the mic tonight.
Oh,
okay, sorry about that. Real quick here. So this gentleman is really pissed off at this Chinese gentleman.
I'm wearing a hat next week because the crease on my forehead is like driving me crazy. It's either I do this the whole time or I just see it and my eyes.
But you're like right in the light too.
I know, it's like look at that.
You get this like purple light going. Okay, anyways, so this gentleman's really pissed off at this gentleman because he's Chinese and you know.
So
coronavirus.
He doesn't want to get okay. See, and listen, real quick before you play this video, this is a thing, man. People are being like they are canceling their Ubers. Their Uber driver will show up. He looks Asian,
Boom.
and they're like,
nope.
"Oh, cancel. Not going to get in the car with him." Shut up! I'm telling you, Karen down the street could probably have the coronavirus. 80% of the people that have it, they show no symptoms. They're asymptomatic. So,
Dr. Jimmy,
you either got it or you don't. The only thing that you can do to protect yourself is make sure your immune system is boosted. Get some elderberry syrup in you and some vitamin C.
I got
Drink
some
your
elderberry
water.
syrup.
Yeah, stuff works. And then also, if you smoke cigarettes, stop smoking cigarettes because it affects people that have respiratory issues. And you know,
how about vaping?
Vaping's probably a problem too. I mean, if you've got respiratory issues, you are a high candidate to get it. If you come in contact
All right,
with
anyone could learn that from WebMD. Let's
not
watch this video here because this guy obviously doesn't have a cell phone or the internet.
I don't want him under me. Tell him to move. Tell him to move.
So I suppose his stuff is right here, and this guy's sitting too close to that stuff. Boom, with his Lysol Febreze.
Oh, he's just spraying him with Lysol?
Yeah, well, he's worried. Who's the asshole?
The guy with the Lysol, man.
Yeah.
Because he's got an irrational fear. Just because the guy is Asian doesn't mean he's got the coronavirus. I don't think you have it.
All right, I got another great one here
you
for
might
you.
have it. You know what?
I seriously, for a moment, thought about it, and then Lexi.
You hang out with a kid.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's a kid in your life.
Well,
and it's a disease carrier. And
he's good.
And that's, I mean,
she
yeah.
was worried about. My girlfriend was worried about
Once they go
that
to
she
public
might have
school, or they go, she thought she had
it.
it.
She's like, "Oh, I'm starting to feel a little tickle in my throat there." She started asking me questions.
Can you give me some soup?
Has it shown up in USA yet?
Yeah.
And,
yeah. It's killed 6 people.
Because her mom is sending her all this like propaganda.
It's killed 6 people.
Anyways, this one's called "Let Me Just Squeeze In Here Real Quick." This is a good one.
Oh.
And thank you for the widescreen. This is great. Some volume. Here we go. Squeeze in there real quick.
Oh.
Whoop!
Oh!
Can you believe what it took to make that thing flip? Watch that again.
Geoprism? Bam!
It was like a perfect disaster, like, because he put his brakes,
Bam!
and then because he hit his brakes, go!
Bam! Oh, that's terrifying for that person. Motorcycle guy maintained his cool. Gotta
You
tell
really
you.
have to. When I was on a scooter, you have to. It's a whole different drive than if you're behind the wheel of a car.
There's no quick jerks.
No.
You got to commit. It's
And
okay.
so
I guess
therefore,
I'm
you
gonna
have to
go
be
that way
you
now.
have to be like 2 steps ahead, even 3. You have to be out there seeing if someone's coming in from a T section.
Hey, real quick, you said Johnny Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Yeah. When's his thing?
It's happening on the 14th of this month, March.
The Beards on the Bay?
Beards on the Bay, number 5.
You're going to be judging it.
I am one of the judges.
And
esteemed judges.
I might. What do you think? I mean,
I want you to go. Do you think you're going to go?
I haven't competed but once.
I already have a hotel room. You can sleep on the floor.
All right. I'll do it.
We'll talk about it some more. Let's watch the next video here. This one is Old Man Isn't Too Old to Throw Down.
Thanks for watching, Johnny. Man, what got these guys started?
Who knows?
Oh, old dude with the Kanga hat knocks the guy out. And I'll tell you what, you get an assist from the concrete there. Like, his body
And
bounced.
look at that thump. It's just like a thump.
His butt hit first. But I think he was out before he hit the ground.
And look, it hit him so good his shoe fell off.
Man. At an Arby's.
At an Arby's, man. That
What?
roast beef cheddar is delicious, bro.
Let me tell you this.
Worth fighting over.
They've got a steak and cheese right now, which
There's only
I guess
like
I
one
could,
Arby's in town. And
I
it's
could
off the
make it
7-1.
an argument that is a Philly taco, a steak and cheese. But from
You know,
Arby's,
we are almost
it's
out
hard.
of stuff. We might have to go to we might have to go to our last guy after the 10th one here. We got time for a lot more videos, so we're gonna just keep going here.
Let's go.
Guy gets angry because 2 women won't pet his dog.
What?
Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Keep going though. No, keep playing this one. All right, stop real quick. I don't know if you guys saw. There's people fighting, and somebody wanted the fighting to stop.
It's a Browns game.
And he's going for the Browns. I don't know if you saw this, but go ahead and rewind that again. And just watch this guy's bum right here. There's a guy right up in there.
Oh, I see the.
Yeah, so our logo's blocking it, though. But you can see. There you go.
Oh! Got
The guy's
right
like,
in the gooch. Oh! Okay.
How about
He
that?
got him right in the gooch. And let me tell you,
Dirty tactics.
That's
right.
That is. There's no rules in fighting, but that looks like it's two guys going at it, and then that guy was an outsider. So I really don't think that he, that's as far as the rules of engagement. I think he was breaking some of the rules. You can't just go in and start punching on a guy while he's getting punched on by your buddy, and then the
people
gooch
are trying to
shot.
have a good time, and this guy was like, "Enough!" All right, so I was saying a guy gets angry because two women won't pet his dog.
The people won't pet my dog because they said it's against their religion to pet my dog. You're really not allowed to pet him? Have you ever had a pet in your life? No, I'm just seriously trying to ask as a person. Like, where are you from? Where are you from? Like,
Doesn't matter where I'm from.
Well,
Stop doing the camera.
you can pet him.
Stop.
He's not evil.
What happened?
I said you can pet him.
Look at that guy torturing those women with his dog.
Yeah. I'm evil? You won't pet my dog because you said he's...
Go away!
Fuck you! They seriously see this shit. They will come up, they will talk shit about my fucking dog, and then they want to give me a fucking attitude. And all I said was, hey, you can pet him, he's a nice dog. See, it's shit like this that makes you go, oh.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It's
What were
shit
you
like
gonna
this
say?
that makes you go,
oh, this is why
See,
we
it's shit
should
like
keep.
this that makes you go, oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Definitely voted for Bernie in
now
the
listen.
primary.
No. That is a Trump supporter if I ever saw one. Because that guy is.
Get off
listen,
your horse.
It's a well-known
First of all,
stereotype that
Trump supporters don't have dogs.
Let me tell you this: where those ladies
Show me one.
may be from.
Show me one.
You see Trump with the dog?
That's what I'm saying. They don't own dogs.
What are you talking about?
Trump supporters don't own dogs. Do you know any Trump supporters that own dogs?
Paul Hendricks.
He's a Trump supporter?
Yeah, he owns a dog.
Did you just out him?
Yeah, he's a Trump supporter. I said it here. Paul Hendricks.
What? No way.
Yeah, he loves him.
You're so full
He
of
has phone
shit.
calls with him daily.
Yeah, I knew you're full of shit. Okay, so I'm right. No Trump supporters have dogs.
Right.
That's why it's not a Trump supporter.
Yeah. So okay, well then he's just a racist because
Yes.
I mean where those
Way
ladies
more
are
likely.
possibly from, they had an accent. They were wearing some ethnic clothing. It's not something you just get at Target.
Can you go to the 144 doc?
In other countries, dogs are not pets like they are here. They're tools, and then most of them are just like
Last week's doc.
you know
144?
homeless dogs that are vagrants, or varmints. So they're scared of the dog. Leave them alone. They don't want to pet your stupid dog. It's like people with snakes.
Number
I don't
20.
want to pet your snake. And then you know what? Don't bring your parrot. Your parrot can cut my finger off. These people with parrots. I want to pet your parrot. I want to. And then
I wanted to say something. That'd be great.
yeah, if it was like, hey, what's going on?
Want to get
Lois?
high? Want to get high? Want to get high? Ah, getting high. All right. I wanted to show this wonderful video from last week. We were supposed to show it, but we didn't get around to it. So,
What's happening? Is he having a seizure?
Hey, yo, this nigga, I just caught these niggas smoking douche just now, bro. I walk up on these niggas, they smoking douche, so look at these niggas, right?
all right, real quick, stop.
What's he on?
He's saying they be smoking the deuce. Do you know what that is?
No, what's deuce?
The K2.
Oh.
They're smoking spice is what's going on. These teenage kids.
What
that
is K2?
It's synthetic
is
weed.
it kratom or?
No, it's not kratom. Kratom is actually natural. But what this is just some herbs, and what they've done is they sprayed it with a
spray it with
chemical
some
that's a
stuff.
synthetic THC.
This is the stuff that in Take Back Austin, you'll see those videos like they're like, oh, here's another one, and it's a guy that's like
Exactly, and they're on
holding
most
on
likely
to a-
spice because they're not regulating that, and it's terrible.
Well, and they do it all the time. These guys will come through, sell that cheap ass crap to the homeless, and then it's like a whole wave of them end up in the hospital because it's,
all right, let's
it's
finish
cheaper
up this
than
one, and then I want to finish up
booze,
with
I guess.
24 before we go. And that'll be our last video. This guy's on a trip. This reminds me of being on Salvia de Minorum. Like,
was that lady smoking with them?
No, but obviously trying to help him, right?
Hey, yo!
I mean, he's obviously just got out of school.
Or is about to go to. Yeah, this is something I would have done
This shit is
as a
crazy,
kid, you know?
dog. On the left side, this shit crazy.
Is he going to roll into the street?
Oh.
All right, we got no time for
He's
the rest of this.
not having a seizure.
All right, let's, real
He's
quick, we'll get to
fine.
that next video here. We'll talk in the
He's
meantime.
just smoked some synthetic.
Don't do K2. Don't do that deuce.
Don't do it.
We've got 1 minute left here. Thanks you guys for being with us. This has been another episode of Emergency Exit Podcast.
Yeah, tune in next week.
We'll be talking to Take Back Austin's Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
And we'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, here's the last video of the night.
Oh, it's an all-out brawl. What is the cause of this?
Not enough fruit roll-ups at the dollar store.
Are you kidding me? Oh, no! Oh, why do you show this? Oh, why do people film it? Oh, why does people run into other people?
Play that very last part.
Does that person know what's going on? Oh, snap.
All righty, guys. 4. Brandon the Hard Hat Mitchell. For Kyle Bauer. 4. This guy, Jimmy. For me, I'm Los. Bye.
Thanks for coming, Kyle. Thanks for calling in, Rob.
Oh, and for you on the stream, thanks for joining us. You guys are now officially off the air with us. Until next time. That's right.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Oh, God.